While the Texas Time Machine might be a metaphorical concern, our city Round Rock is named very literally. In one spot in the center of Brushy Creek, just west of Interstate 35, is a mushroom-shaped rock that conveniently marks the best low-water crossing in the area. Evidence has been found of American tribal peoples congregating and crossing this same area for centuries, and the European settlers who came in the 1820s and 30s after benefited from the markers similarly. Around the time of the Texas Revolution, no area around the Round Rock, Brushy Creek, or even present-day Austin was part of any Mexican or Spanish land grant. It was all considered tribal territory. Many tribal nations lived nomadic lifestyles in and around present-day Williamson County, principally Tonkawas, Lipan Apaches, Comanches, and Western Caddo. There were also significant numbers of Kiowas and Choctaws seasonally passing through. One of, if not the first, European family to settle in the area was the Kennys of Kenny Fort fame, a likely topic for a future Texas Time Machine. Originally, the area had a different yet equally literal name of Brushy Creek. Thomas C. Oates, the Brushy Creek postmaster, suggested the new name Round Rock to locals after enjoying fishing perched on this rock surrounded by perch. Oates was often accompanied on these fishing jaunts by a former mayor of early Austin, Jacob M. Harrell, who'd moved to Brushy Creek to take up the blacksmith trade and eventually retire. The rock would continue to provide locals with a focal point of outdoor relaxation and enjoyment, but its function as a water crossing was essential until the arrival of the railroad in the 1870s. It quickly became a consistent point on the wavering Chisholm Trail as the cattle drive business bloomed in Texas. The Chisholm Trail cattle drives should be imagined as many small creeks feeding into one massive river flowing north, a culmination of hundreds of small trails and routes used by cattle ranchers throughout the state. The 19th century, especially the middle decades, was an extremely prosperous time to be in the cattle business. While some herds were small groups of a few hundred, some of the largest were mass migrations of 40,000 bovines that would take days to cross by the Round Rock. Locals would gather in a festival atmosphere to watch these proceedings. It was also fairly easy to get into this lucrative trade. In 1866, a rancher living south of Brushy Creek counted over 4,000 unbranded wild longhorns near his home. This manna from heaven only required a strong and brave hand to pluck. Once rustled, these cows could be bought locally for $10, then sold in Kansas for $30 each, and could garner as much as $50 in New York. This was a time when $50 would be considered a very high monthly wage. So just as the stone Round Rock was at the intersection of Brushy Creek and the Chisholm Trail, the city too grew on the fortunes of the cattle business, offering services to meet the needs and wants of the cowboys passing through. Its present-day mushroom shape is relatively new. Until 1921, there was an extra outcropping of stone on its north-facing side. That year, rushing floodwaters tore that part away, leaving us the lovely shape we can visit today. Floods around the Round Rock have been a constant issue for the community, even if the limestone lining the creek's banks has helpfully provided much of the material used in the settler and old town buildings. In 1932, the U.S. Department of Agriculture built a dam just west of the Round Rock, helping keep the number of damaging floods to a few a lifetime instead of a few every decade. Like paths worn by folks crossing a field for generations, alongside the Round Rock are wagon ruts worn into the limestone creek bed, started by the quarrymen hauling incredibly heavy stone slabs from the creekside for buildings. Then later, these stone ruts were deepened by decades of travelers steering their wagons into these convenient paths. Wait until late summer when the creek is low, and you can see them any time. Or sit on the rock in higher water times and try your luck at catching some perch in the same spot generations have fished before you. Another way you can experience the Round Rock much as past generations is to take a picture on the rock, which has always been a popular portrait choice for families. Just this short discussion of Round Rock's namesake landmark has brought up many topics unfathomed by the Texas Time Machine. We'll have to drill down into some of these fun subjects in the months to come. Stay tuned.